welcome once again to I've Been Playing, where today we're talking about Starfield. Now, I was hoping to have some of my own footage with this, but I'm having issues with uploading to OneDrive, and my Xbox isn't really in a convenient enough place for me to, put up a USB in it. It's too complicated to get out of that thing because I have too much stuff in it. So, I don't know if it'll be my own footage or not. If you're hearing this, it won't be. If you're not, it will be, but you won't have heard this, so it doesn't matter. So, Starfield. It's the one everyone is talking about currently, or one of them. There are a couple of them, I suppose, because other things have come out that people are now talking about for consoles specifically that I'll probably do a video on soon because I just started playing that as well. Anyway, that's a separate thing. Starfield. It's Bethesda's new RPG. Set in space, you have a whole bunch of planets to explore, you can fly your ship around, it's a Bethesda RPG, and that's kind of, honestly, all you need to know. It's not, that's reductive, but if you have played a Bethesda RPG, specifically Skyrim, or Fallout 4 I would say probably, then gameplay-wise, that's what this is, for the most part. It's very similar. I would say it's more similar to Fallout in space, just aesthetically, because of some of the corridors and stuff. And there are guns, not just swords and stuff, so I would compare it more to that, personally. So you kind of know what you're getting into for the main gameplay of this, if you've played one of those. If you haven't, which it seems unlikely given that Skyrim has been on every electronic device on the planet in the past 10 years or however long it's been out. But you have a main quest, and you follow the main quest, by which I mean you have the main quest going constantly, but you wander around and do basically everything else and join every faction you can and steal from everyone and play around and try to break the game as much as possible before you ever do the main quest. The thing is, with this one, with Starfield, I haven't unlocked, ship customization yet, which I really don't care about. Personally, it's not a big selling point to me anyway, but I haven't unlocked it yet, so I would say there's a decent amount of the main story you want to progress through first to unlock some stuff, but I have yet to be able to tell whether I should go through the main quest first or not, because a lot of the time with these Bethesda RPGs, the main quest is kinda boring, or not boring exactly, but it ends up feeling like the least important part of the game. But if this one is going to unlock main components of the game like that, probably a little more important. Also, I think they have themselves said something to that effect. Right now, that's what I'm doing. Now, I want to preface this with two things. Number one, I've only played maybe 3 or 4 hours of this because I have just not had time in the past week, 2 weeks, even. It wasn't out 2 weeks ago because I didn't buy it. I waited to get it on Game Pass because, and this is my second point, I wasn't really that excited for it. I want Elder Scrolls 6. And specifically, I want an Elder Scrolls 6 that is more like Oblivion, because Oblivion is one of my favorite games ever. It's broken as hell, and it never really looked that good, but I love it. So every Starfield announcement, I was kind of like, yeah, okay, I get it. And I love space, right? I have an astrophysics degree. I love space, but I just don't care. I also partly blame No Man's Sky because I got super hyped about No Man's Sky and bought it on launch, and I wasn't as annoyed with it as other people were, but it still wasn't what I wanted, and I had similar vibes the entire time they were advertising this. The only reason I gave it a go was because I waited to get it free on Game Pass, and at that point I was finally like, you know what, I might as well. So I didn't go into this with positive thoughts? I didn't go into it with negative thoughts. I was just kind of like, okay, I mean, I like Bethesda RPGs, I'll give it a go, whatever. First thing I will say is it looks great. It looks really good. You can tell it's optimized for newer consoles, but it looks really good. All the textures and everything. I keep noticing the textures on all of the NPCs' clothes, it's almost too textured, honestly, because I keep looking at it, the jackets, and jackets specifically for some reason, because a lot of the characters, or at least one of the characters you meet first has a jacket, and I was just staring at the textures that is there's so much happening there. There's the little different bits of the jacket, and then there's the leather texture, and then there's all the shadows and stuff. I can't stop staring at your jacket. I don't know why. But in any case, it looks really nice. I haven't encountered too many bugs, which is surprising considering how Bethesda RPG launches tend to go, but I don't know if that's because I haven't played much of it, or I haven't noticed, or maybe it's actually not as buggy as it usually is, which I don't buy. As for the main story, it seems interesting. Again, time will tell if that's the most interesting part, or if it's kind of just important to play through to unlock some stuff. Like I said, I haven't done any ship customization yet, really. I also don't have enough money to really customize a ship anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter, but maybe I get more money to do ship customization. I don't know. I don't know how the main story plays out, but I think given how little time I've spent with the game so far, it's fine. I don't feel compelled to go play it as much as I have other games recently, as much as I did with Skyrim, although that may be because I'm old now and not in college and have nothing to do with my time other than play games. I mean, I play plenty of games anyway, but like, you know, more than now. I don't feel compelled to come back from work and play it, or stop working and play it, or whatever. It's not, it hasn't hooked me like that yet. It did for a couple of hours the other day. I was actually just exploring, doing some of the surveying and stuff, and I don't know how I feel about that. I was having a good time with it for about 10 minutes, and then it just kept going, and this was just on one planet, and then I scanned everything in the biome, and then it was like, biome done, but I wasn't done with the planet, but I didn't see anywhere else to land. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. I was really excited to do it and explore, and then got bored of it 5 minutes later, so we'll see. I think maybe I need to be in a mood to do more exploring. Maybe I need to put something else on in the background so it's not just me wandering around. Because I mean, there are a lot of planets. I don't know if there are actually 1,000. I haven't explored the map that much, but if there are, and I have to scan and survey almost all of them that way, probably not almost all of them, that'd be too much. Surely, even they would think that would be too much. But even if it's 1/10 of that, that's too many. That's too much. I don't want to. As I said, the main gameplay is kind of like other Bethesda RPGs, so I'm not going to get into it because you can kind of know what to expect there. One thing that I do really hate, and it's not just this game necessarily, I'm also just bad at it, is the space combat. I can't stand it. I do not like it. One of the problems I'm having is that, and it's not just me thankfully, because I've heard several other people say this, is that the game doesn't really, there are some mechanics that the game just doesn't explain, or doesn't explain enough, or hides in weird menus. So I'm having trouble finding things, but I'm also having trouble with the space combat, or just spaceflight in general, when I have to do it myself, and it's partly because it didn't teach me some of the mechanics, I think, or didn't mention them, but it's also because it sucks. I'm bad at flight sims. I know I'm bad at flight sims, or anything that is vehicle-based that is not a car, basically. I have issues with sometimes. Some are better than others, but a lot of the time, unless it's a car or something equivalent to a car, I have problems with it. So it's partly me being incompetent, but it also, I just don't, it feels bad. It feels bad and slow. And in first person especially, I was rotating, because there's a combat tutorial I'm pretty sure you have to go through. I don't know if you have to fight anybody necessarily outside of that, but there's a combat tutorial, and I was trying to fight the thing, and I was just spinning on the spot because they kept being out of range, and I couldn't spin any faster, and it took 5 minutes to just spin around and see the thing, and then they zoomed out of frame, or out of eye line of sight, whatever, really quickly, and then I had to chase him down again, and it took too long. I hated it. It was horrible. So I switched to third person, which thankfully you can do. I'm not having much better luck that way, but it's better than first person, at least for me. I really wish I didn't have to do it, though. I really wish it wasn't there. Like I said, you can kind of avoid it a little bit. I don't know if you can avoid it completely, but God, I'm hoping there are not that many space combat sections, because I will never get through the game if there are. Anyway, as usual, I've kind of talked all over the place without putting my thoughts together in any kind of cohesive way, but hopefully that makes sense. Basically, the gist of what I'm saying is, it's fine. It's another Bethesda RPG. I'll probably play through the main story, because in this one specifically, there's just too much side stuff to do, and I do not have time for that. And also, a lot of the side stuff is exploration, and I don't think I care enough to explore that much. I just don't. So I think it's a fine game. I enjoy Bethesda RPGs. I would rather have Elder Scrolls 6, but I am at least glad that there's a new IP, I guess, except considering how long it takes them to release RPGs, we're not gonna get a Starfield 2 until 2045. Hopefully that made some sort of sense. I really don't think it did. I apologize. I tried my best. Like I said, I've only played 4 or 5, maybe 6 hours, which is nothing in an RPG. This is gonna be tens, if not hundreds of hours long. So, I'm enjoying it. I'm not enjoying it as much as I at least initially enjoyed Skyrim. I'm getting into it again. Anyway, I am enjoying myself, but I don't love it. There you go. That's more concise. I hope you enjoyed this in any case, and I will see you hopefully sometime soon for another one of these, and also other stuff I do on my channel that you can see as well. I'll see you later.